Now then, welcome back to Budget Bangers. Join me with another purchase. One that was in the background of one of my last videos that I spoke about. It's a little Vauxhall Corsa Club. It's a 58 plate. It's a 1.4 petrol. And a decent example of a car, really, for a Corsa anyway. Just had it in for MOT. It did fail, not on a lot at all. When I got there, I told the MOT, I was speaking to the MOT test, having a bit of a chin wag, and I said, I think I may have bought a decent Corsa. And he had a chuckle and he said, there's no such thing. And by the end of it, he said, you know, that's actually a decent car. In terms of the condition of it, is in very good condition. A few odd little touch-ins, things like that. We have a Marshall. Never heard of them, but we'll have a ditch finder. Wheel trims as well, no curbing, nothing major. It's a bit dirty, as you can probably see there, but can't see any obvious marks. There's nothing major anyway. We do have a mark on the A-pillar here because the wiper arm's been set too high, which seems to be a common thing at the minute. People can't seem to fit wiper blades properly. But it has just had a spring on the driver's side, he said, when he tested it. So it has been set a bit too high. So I'll need to sort that out, and then I've got some touch-up paint we'll touch that in. It'll be along the side. Again, nice, clean. Little bit of a mark there. Maybe a bit of transfer, that's all, that might polish up. If not, I've got the paint to touch it in. Even there's no little dings or anything like that, which you tend to find with cars like this. It's a bit hard to tell, and I'll know a bit better once it's had a good wash. But we've got a little bit of something there, looks like more transfer where it's been caught on something. It's got the usual rust starting to come through, which we need to do something with. I don't really know what to do with that. I might just take a bit of sandpaper to it, take the rust down, touch it in, because if you're painting that, you're painting all of this here, really. Can't justify it. I paid too much for this car as it is, really, so there's not a lot of profit in it. Again, down this side, we've got an Ovation, lovely ditch finder again, and a decent wheel trim around the back. Not too bad, really. From what I can see, it is a bit wet and a bit dirty. There is the usual mark here. It's been bumped into something, so you've got a little bit of damage there, and a little bit of damage on this corner. Again, if I had the good margin in it, I'd probably be looking to get it painted, but I don't have the margin in it, so I am going to have to just tidy that up the best I can. There's no major damage. I think the worst bit of damage is where it's been pushed in a bit there and it cracked the paint, but I'll tidy it up. Again, a bit of a badly aligned bumper and a bit of corrosion, typical thing that happens on Corsas. That I think they set the panel gaps too close together, so it rubs or something like that, and they rust. That, for the age, is very good. What have we got on here? An Ovation again, good wheel trim, no major marks. It is thick of moss, which is unusual because generally speaking it's quite a tidy car, so I'm wondering if it's somebody who's just had some soapy water in a hose pipe and gave it a proper jet washing down and got into the gaps and things like that. But with the power setting, the local car wash have their jet washing, they will blast that away no bother. Again, a bit of touch up on the mirror cap, bit of tidying up to do, pretty basic stuff, and a bit here as well. And I dare say some of that could be transfer. I think that's where they took the paint off, and I think that might polish out, but we'll have a look. Oh, it does have the pure clean treatment thing, which the sticker's given up. I dare say the treatment's given up as well. But other than that, got a wheel trim missing. I have ordered a wheel trim, and we've got a Marshall. So yeah, I've got a proper wheel trim. Normally I just buy a cheap wheel trim, but to make it a full set, I'll keep it right. And other than that, really, you've just got your odd little chips here and there, and it's a nice tidy example. Look at that there. Ooh. Like the Amazon. Inside, again, pretty basic, pretty tidy. It's got genuine rubber mats. Whether they're genuine or not, I'm not too sure. They do say Corsa on them. Somebody could have bought them off eBay. But yeah, all it failed on its test was insufficient washer fluid from the screen wash. I think it's just empty because it did work when I checked them. I think I've just used it up. The offside rear coil spring. It was advised a position lamp, multiple sources, only half working, so it's got 2 bulbs for the side lights on the back. So I just want a bulb in. And a set of brake pads wearing thin. So we'll get that done, and I'll have a full MOT with no advisories. And for a Corsa, the glove box is still attached, which is lovely. Now, in terms of spec, I'm not 100% sure on what you get as standard. I really should do a bit of research on these things before I do these videos, but I'm from a mechanic background and not from a car sales background, so I'm not really clued up on my specs. But what we have is we have steering wheel controls for the stereo and phone, whatever that symbol's supposed to mean as well. CD, MP3, I'm not too sure whether it has Bluetooth. It does have air conditioning, which I do not believe works. And we've got a little auxiliary port down there as well. Front electric windows, electric mirrors. So it hasn't got a lot, but I would say it's got what it needs. You know, you don't want much. And I even think with this head-up display here, I think that's what you call it anyway, but this display is an extra as well, because normally you only get the little screen that shows you the time and date and what stereo, but it's got like a full-on trip computer and things like that. So yeah, and even if we have a look in the back, it does have a book pack with it and everything, but it doesn't have any service history. And if I have a look without giving away any details, it's 4 keepers from new. Yeah, it's a Stockton car, or it was from Stockton anyway. I don't know where it was originally registered, but yeah, in the back, quite tidy. Not really being sat in too much, I dare say. No children. Yeah, we do have a boot full of parts. I am going to do some spark plugs and an air filter on it as well. I've already done an oil and filter because there's a story behind it, which, if you're eagle-eyed, you'll notice there's this in. When I went to pick it up, it had a bit of a noisy chain on it. And when I checked, it had no oil in it. So when I bought it, I got it here. First thing I did was an oil and filter change. Before I picked it up, I put about a litre of oil in it. Let's see if it would show up on the dipstick, and it never even touched it. And when I dropped the oil out, I dare say I maybe it's got a litre and a half, possibly 2 litres if I was lucky out of it. So it didn't have a lot of oil in. So I did do an oil and filter. I also put some of this I was recommended by the garage that I get MOT'd at to put some oil stabiliser in. It just kind of brings everything back around. If I start it up, it does have the typical rattle first thing on the morning. A little bit of a rattle there. But all in all, I wouldn't say it's too bad. They do tend to sound a bit ticky, these things, when they're idling. But all in all, it's not too bad. This car will be getting sold with a 3-month warranty on it. So if there's any issues, these should be covered by it. I think time and chains are covered by the warranty and things like that. So I don't think there'll be an issue, but unfortunately, with all cars with a good few miles on, you never know, especially with a Vauxhall Corsa. I'd like to correct myself as well. Last time when I spoke about the KA, I said it was going up for 14.95 with 3 months, so it's going for 15.95. So I thought I'd correct myself on that. Yeah, and I did buy a car from the BCA auctions. I bought the little Yaris, which I'll be picking up tomorrow, and I'll probably get a video on. Hopefully it doesn't want too much. And the Volvo has gone, and I do have a car down there that I took in part exchange, another Volvo S40, which unfortunately wants a clutch in it. When I took it in part exchange, it did still drive, but he did say the clutch is very high, and I checked it and it was, and it gave up on the way here. Actually, I don't know why we managed to get it here, because it's now stuck there, it doesn't drive, and my winch is knackered on my truck, so I can't get it loaded up to take it. But it needs a clutch in before I could do anything. But before I do that, we need to have a clear out. What I'm planning on doing is when we get rid of the KA, when the logbook finally turns up, rather than putting the money into another car, I'll just put the money into that, because it's going to be about £800 to get a clutch and flywheel in that, which is going to make me cry. But it doesn't, in terms of the deal that I did, it doesn't really owe me anything really. It doesn't owe me a lot at all. I gave scrap value for it, or just over scrap value, so I could scrap it. But there's a decent amount of money in there. You only paid £2,200 for it a year ago. So yeah, we'll get that sorted. Yeah, other than that, nothing really happened, so we're going to get cracked on with this. Hopefully I'll get the work done on it today, fingers crossed, and I'll get it in for a retest before I go do my BCA pickup tomorrow. But yeah, we'll crack on. I thought I'd just quickly show you this. Reason why I'm changing the spark plugs is every now and then when you were driving in low revs, you'd have a bit of a flat spot. Now I'll try and show you this. This is the spark plug that is clearly extremely worn. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. It's a bit manky on the end, but original spark plugs. When do you reckon this thing has ever been to Vauxhall, shall I say, to get some spark plugs in it? Dare say never. Now the fact that they are original is absolutely amazing. You know, I've known Vauxhalls on spark plugs in after 20,000 miles. They possibly could have been done under warranty at some point, but yeah. So that's why I'm showing, just for a reference, this is what they're supposed to look like. There's my nice new spark plug, and look at that gap there. That's nice. So I'm going to be chucking these in. I'm doing the service parts rather than sorting the MOT work out first for some reason. But yeah, that's how it goes. Right then, it's a good few days later. I can't even remember how many days it's been. Basically been waiting for the missing wheel trim to turn up so I can get it finished. It's cleaned up nice. It wasn't bad, really. It's always going to look good in this sort of weather. It is. Chucking it down a little bit. Yeah, we've tied up them rust spots on both sides, so it looks a lot better. And I have done some touchings there. I really should have got it painted, but it's not really the money in it, and it just takes your eye away from it, really. So I am happy. So in total, for its MOT, he wanted a rear coil spring, wanted some water in the washers, and then he was advised a bulb and some front brake pads, which all got done. And it's also had a large service, so when the person comes to buy this car, which should have a viewing in about 20 minutes, I think, if they turn up. Yeah, even inside, it's such a nice car. And this car will be, if it sells today, will be my first car selling with a warranty from Warranties 2000. So yeah, I'm not too sure as to whether I can see what sort of warranty claims are put through on it and things like that, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.